She was the face of the 90s. Vogue called her the most beautiful woman in the world. Linda Evangelista didn't just model clothes. She defined what it meant to be a supermodel. When I first cut my hair off and I went to Milano to do the show.
Cut my hair off and I went to Milano to do the shows. I was booked for like 20 shows. About 15 of them canceled me.
I was booked for like 20 shows, but 15 of them canceled me. They didn't understand the haircut. And yet, just a season later, everyone wanted to look like her. That's the Linda effect. From Versace runways to the iconic Freedom music video, she was everywhere until she wasn't. So what really happened to Linda Evangelista? Why did she disappear at the height of her fame? And how did one decision change her life and her face forever? Before the silence, before the surgeries, Linda was at the center of a fashion revolution. Alongside Naomi, Cindy, Christy, Claudia, she wasn't just in the spotlight. She was the spotlight, but unlike many other top models, Linda wasn't discovered by chance. She didn't stumble into modeling. She chased it. I really wanted to wear fashion. I wanted to model because I was obsessed. Obsessed with clothing. I just knew that's what I wanted to do. From the time she was a child, she was drawn to glamour, sneaking her aunt's makeup, collecting costume jewelry, plastering her bedroom walls with pages ripped from Vogue. But her path, it wasn't easy. She started with $8 an hour bridal catalog shoots in Canada, saving every cent just to build a test portfolio. When she got to Europe, most jobs went to taller, more conventional girls. But Linda didn't give up. It took me a few years to get going. I worked every day, but I didn't do genius things right from the beginning. I went through a lot to get where I am. And I appreciate it. She wasn't an overnight success. She was the opposite. She grinded until the world finally noticed, and once Vogue booked her, it was over. Linda was in. But it was her collaboration with photographer Stephen Meisel that would change everything. They became creative soulmates. Their images, iconic, polished, intense, transformative. As fashion evolved, Linda evolved with it. Then came the moment that changed everything. We were just hitting fashion, people. Suddenly I was being recognized by kids on the street. That one video didn't just cement her status, it made her immortal. She had the face, the talent, the discipline. The world couldn't stop watching her. Until suddenly, she disappeared. For a while, Linda Evangelista vanished. No interviews, no campaigns, no red carpets, not even a candid shot. In an industry built on visibility, she disappeared into silence. Naomi was still on runways. Cindy was launching skincare. Claudia was closing Versace shows. But Linda, nothing. Fans speculated. Had she retired? Was she ill? But no one knew the truth. Because Linda wasn't resting. She was hiding. Not from fame, but from herself. In 2015, Linda underwent a cosmetic procedure. Cool sculpting. Marketed as safe, quick, painless. But for Linda, it went horribly wrong. Instead of freezing her fat cells, she developed a rare and devastating side effect. Paradoxical adipose hyperplasia. Her fat didn't dissolve. It multiplied, hardened, grew. It caused bulges that deformed my body. For over 5 years, Linda lived in total seclusion. Mommy, do you remember when you used to be fun? Why don't you laugh anymore? No mirrors, no jobs, no friends. Even her son noticed. I can't put my arms next to my body. There's this bulge sticking out. Her identity shattered, her spirit broken. Eventually, she filed a $50 million lawsuit claiming physical disfigurement, emotional trauma, lost income. But by then, the damage was done. What made her story so devastating? It wasn't a scandal. No meltdowns, no tabloid headlines, just silence. She was destroyed, not by fame, but by the pressure to stay perfect within it. And then, in 2022, after 5 years in the shadows, Linda Evangelista stepped in front of the camera again, not for a campaign, not for fashion, for herself. British Vogue got a striking cover, carefully lit, strategically posed, her jawline taped, her neck concealed. She wasn't hiding what had happened, she was managing how we saw it, and she said, I miss my job so much, but I can't just take jobs like I used to. Not with what I look like now. That cover wasn't just a comeback. That it was a reckoning with impossible standards, with pain, with silence, and with the truth. Then came the Fendi campaign, black and white. No filters, no fanfare, just presence. For the first time, Linda wasn't a mannequin, she was a survivor. Am I cured mentally? Absolutely not, but I'm trying to love myself again. And then, quietly, she faced something even more terrifying than disfigurement, cancer. Again, she didn't tell the world, she barely told herself. I had a bilateral mastectomy. I thought I was clear, but the cancer came back. Through it all, one person stayed, Christy Turlington. She never gave up on me. In 2023, she returned to the studio, not to chase approval, but to reclaim control. She released a book with Meisel. A visual archive of her story. I wanted to be seen how I choose to be seen, not how they used to see me. That's the difference. When she disappeared the first time, the world moved on. When she returned, they listened. Linda Evangelista wasn't just a model, she was a mirror, for every woman discarded when they aged, for every soul who tried to disappear, for everyone who survived something. The world couldn't see that's her legacy, not perfection, not fame, truth, and that is the most powerful image of all.